And John, the young people you talk to, I bet you're telling them if you want to succeed in business, you better have an education to go into it.
Exactly. That's one thing that that I just actually just went and engaged Fresno State the other day and doing a networking class for them, and teaching these young people how to network and how to build those bridges. And I am very disappointed, specifically on the overall performance, but in particular the male Latino is not going to college, and that's something that concerns me. I'm a graduate from Fresno State University '96, and that's something that we're doing is at the Chamber. We're actually trying to assist that by focusing on both Latinas and Latinos to try and get them to go to college.
Well, I talk to a lot of different community groups, and I tell them that the academic success of the Hispanic community is actually the greatest thing we need to focus on, because everything else follows from that. If you have a good education, you can have all kinds of good things happen.
Socially speaking, I wonder how growing up Hispanic in the Valley today is different from Sarah, say when you grew up here.
Since I'm the oldest of the group.
Well, no, but I know you grew up in this area. I mean, how do you think it's different, and how will it be different in the future?
You know, I think it's tougher for younger people today, in all honesty. I mean, you know, when I was growing up in the Valley, it was a very simple life. We knew our neighbors. There was no fear for mom and dad to have us out and playing in the neighborhood. The peer pressure was there, but it's not as big. And so it is tougher, but it's tougher for everybody. And we as Latinos have to realize that while it's tougher, it is incumbent upon John, it's incumbent upon Henry to be out there and be the role model and to be able to talk to young people about how they can be successful.
I know, Henry, you work a lot with young people. You've been working on building a vibrant arts community here in Fresno, but you also mentioned earlier that some of the poorest people in this region also are in your city council district. What are their hopes and dreams for education?
You know, their hopes and dreams are the same as everybody else's, and I think you know, Sarah was right on with her assessment of some of the issues that occur, especially among many of our inner cities and rural areas. But the other big issue that we have to talk about too is access and affordability. College is just no longer affordable. When I graduated from Fresno State in 2001, I paid $800 a semester.
Wow, that sounds like a great deal.
You know, I was able to pay my tuition each semester by being a busboy at the old spaghetti factory. Now it's over $2,000 a semester. So now it's making it that much harder for students to try to compete and have access to education.
So in some respects, we are on the verge of pricing people out of the one thing that they understand is important that they have to get. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Well, it's difficult because people don't know how it is that you get out of that. How do you get access to higher education? How do you get access to jobs when, you know, this economy is so tough and people are cutting back? How do you get access to health care when you have diabetes or you have high blood pressure or some of those? Those are all difficult things. And it's hard when you're in that situation to know that there's a way out. But there's always got to be hope. And I got to tell you, one thing about the Latino community is hope is always there. I don't care what's happening. Your mama's always praying for you, and your dad's always rooting for you. Exactly. And so that is one thing that has never changed in this community, that will never change.
Well, and there are some factual reasons to be hopeful too, John. You look at health care. Healthcare is going to be very much a source of good jobs in the future here in the Central Valley. I've estimated that even by 2025, we'll have 200,000 vacant jobs here in the Central Valley because of lack of education outcomes. So there are going to be jobs there if people can just get the education to qualify.
I think you're right. Actually, matter of fact, I come from the healthcare industry. Prior to being the executive director of the Chamber, I had 10 years in the healthcare industry with Aetna. And one thing that we found out is getting these people ready and getting them into classes. And the key is not just getting them into the class. The key is getting them to graduate from the class. That's the key. Because when we get people going through, whether it be the nursing program, whether it be phlebotomy, whether it be other types of nursing or even doctoral programs, those are things that really need to be focused on. We need to support those students that are in those programs, regardless of their backgrounds, because we need them to go and help us here in the Valley get through these next 10, 15, 20 years.
Well, sounds like excellent advice. We're going to wrap up now, and we try to help people who are watching figure out how they can get engaged in an issue. So here we're talking about the growth of the Hispanic community. Henry, if people were interested in understanding the Hispanic community, maybe experiencing parts of it for themselves, what would you say as one way to get involved?
You know, one way to get involved would just be getting involved with different organizations that that have large memberships, or a large membership of Latino community, like the Latino Rotary is a great organization. It's a service club that really engages Latinos in community projects and that allows more people to get community-minded and engaged.
Good. So join a group would be one piece of advice. Stacy?
There's also a lot of festivals, cultural festivals that take place. I know in Bakersfield every year there's a big Menudo festival. There's different, I guess, festivals celebrating some regional holidays in Mexico and so forth. And they can be really interesting. I've attended a couple of them, and it's a really great way to kind of experience a different part of the world and someone else's culture.
Yeah, that's a great way to have a good time and learn something at the same time.
And eat good food in
Yes.
the case of Menudo.
What's your tip, John?
Well, I'll tell you, I think piggybacking on Henry's deal, getting involved. At the Central California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we have over 600 members. We have several festivals that go on all year round, whether it be Cinco de Mayo, whether it be National Parks Family Day, whether it be Latino Women's Conference, a Business Expo. We are just doing something all the time. And you know what? All of this is free for the most part. For the most part, all these things are free. And it's the way we give back to the community. And I'll tell you what, it is working. And I think I have high hopes for the Valley. I'm so glad that you're doing this show, and it's called Great Valley, because I do believe this is a great valley.
Well, thank you. Sarah?
You know, I would just say, talk to your neighbor, talk to your coworker, because chances are they're Latino. And just ask them about what it's like to grow up Latino, to be Latino in the Great Valley. And then I would also say to everybody is to remember that we want what everybody else wants. We want safe neighborhoods, great schools for our kids, and a great job. And that's all that we want, and it's the same thing everybody else wants. So just talk to somebody that you know.
Yeah, you'll find lots of different experiences, even though we talk about the Hispanic community that's composed of individuals, and every one of them has a different way of how they got where they are today, and it's a lot of fun to find out what their story is. Well, thanks to our guest today. This has been a very interesting program, and we want to thank you for watching Great Valley. If you would like to join this discussion, please visit our website at greatvalley.tv, where you can comment on our blog and find additional resources on this topic about the Latino community, and learn more about today's experts and their organizations, and there'll be a link to their websites too. And you can also see today's program again online at greatvalley.tv. Well, until next time, have a great week.
This program was sponsored in part by a generous contribution from AT&T, committed to advancing education, strengthening communities, and improving lives. Great Valley was also made possible through the support of the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District, reminding you to make one change to live a healthy air life. Production funding was also provided by the 8 San Joaquin Valley Regional Planning Agencies, guiding future growth for the Valley through the development of a regional blueprint.